Question for Mr. Bassett, Cameron, and Mr. Pope. In your opinions, what will it take for the various governments to finally come clean?
There is actually something going on right now. What you just saw there is just part of it. I'm going to run right through it, and I'm going to show you why I am convinced that disclosure will happen this year from President Obama prior to the election. And the principal reason that is driving that is that a major portion of the print media world has now bitten into the issue. Over 800 articles or so, 900 articles have been written worldwide. The cat's out of the bag. As soon as the television jumps in, it's over. The Pentagon will have to cut a deal with the White House. That's what you'll hear tomorrow.
I would actually agree with Steve Bassett. If you look, since Hillary made 3 comments, Hillary's never brought up the subject. It was John Podesta that brought it up. Hillary has just answered 3 questions on the subject. What I believe has happened is that the media, as Steve says, has suddenly realized they've been had and there's a story. The New York Times did a story on May the 10th. It was a straight out story, not little green man and stuff about Hillary's involvement and this sort of thing. The next day, 2 questions were asked in the White House to the White House press secretary. He walked around both of them. They were dead questions. Is this for real? What's going on? Is Obama going to release? The press secretary just walked around it by saying, I'm not briefed on this subject. And he actually said, President Obama has stated that his job gives him access to this kind of material. You should ask him. It'll be interesting. And what you see is the 3 reporters are asking very serious questions. The last one, the African-American reporter, says to him, what about Roswell? Is this classified? Are ETs coming here? What's going on? And then he starts trying to get a drink of water. She said, look, you're doing the dance at the podium. You're doing the dance. You're trying to figure out what you're going to say. She said, you're not going to get away with this. And he said, you just keep trying. I think the only thing that separates this thing from disclosure is that President Obama was in Japan at the time. If he had a news conference the next day, he would have been asked. And I'm in contact with 2 of these reporters and saying, ask him the briefing question. That the question just has not gone to the president. It's gone to people who aren't cleared and who can walk around the question.
Nick?
Well, the question, of course, presupposes that there is some great secret to disclose. And, of course, an alternative scenario is that the government, or indeed governments, may just simply say, sure, there's a phenomenon, but we don't know what it is, in which case there is nothing to disclose. But, speaking hypothetically, if there is a literal spaceship in a hangar kind of secret, I guess what would lead to that being disclosed is the political will to disclose it, which would probably only arise if there was some benefit judged that would result from that. And of course, constitutionally, I mean, in most countries, there would be no problem with saying, you know, my fellow Canadians, people of the world, they are as extraterrestrial life. The problem arises with the subtext to that, which is, by the way, we've been lying to you about it consistently for 70 years. So that would be the problem. The other thing that might trigger disclosure, of course, is a leak. And some sort of Julian Assange, Chelsea Manning whistleblowing type situation.